nowhere to set it over here that will fit. This might not work.
Don't be killed for me, boy.
Well, it's not too terrible. The question is now, can I be heard?
28 buses down, 16 to go. God bless you. It's still not done yet, this May. The whole thing goes.
I need it to be lower. Not sure how I can help. Woo! Sorry if I'm making anybody nauseous. Hey, now we might be good. Judah, can you help me for a moment?
Mm-hmm.
Can you turn that phone so that it just rotate it that way, like the stand? That's probably good. That's what that looks like. Oh, maybe just a little less that way. Just a smidge. A little bit more. Hey, that's good. Thank you. Sorry for the crazy beginning. Hopefully you guys can hear me. All right, that's got to be one of the roughest beginnings to a live that ever was. Keep flipping this off. Why does this stay off? New keyboard. I don't know where things are on it. Oh, that's it. There we go. Okay. All right, I apologize for the rough beginning there. I have never done this before, and I'm trying something new today. let's see. I want to make sure I can be heard. Who's at their computer in there? Levi, are you at your computer in there?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you pull me up on YouTube and make sure that I can be heard?
Yes, ma'am. Hang on.
Thank you.
It doesn't seem to say here. Did you say something?
Okay, can you hear me on the screen? I mean, I know you can hear me in the house, but I want to make sure people can hear me on YouTube.
We can hear you.
You can hear me? Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right. Sorry for that rocky beginning. This is an impromptu Death Potato's Wonderful World of Fiber Arts, or World of Wonderful Fiber Arts. I don't remember the name of my channel. I think it's Duck Potato's World of Wonderful Fiber Arts. Impromptu surprise Saturday sock stream live. So I am trying something new. Obviously, it took me a few minutes to figure out how to get it set up. But the plan for today is to just make a sock, and I thought you guys might enjoy joining me. So I did not advertise this. Nobody from my channel that's a normal viewer knows this is happening, so I don't expect there to be a whole lot of people watching live, but anyone that's here, welcome. I cannot see comment sections or anything like this from the way I have things set up. So if you hop in and say hi, I may not know it right away, but once I know that you're there, I'll definitely say hello. So if you have questions or comments, there may be a bit of a delay about getting them to my attention. So just bear with me. This is just, like I said, just kind of I had to make some socks this weekend, and I just thought, this might be a fun thing to try out. So yeah, this is a dry run. Sort of a dress rehearsal, so to speak. And I'm going to make a sock. So I made 2 socks last night, and my second sock came out a little bit too loose. So I'm going to try to make another second sock today that's a little closer to the same size as the first sock. So my tension bar is kind of finicky. It loosens itself up really easily when I work with it, and so I'm constantly having to tighten it back down, and I don't always realize that it's gotten loose. So I think that's what happened with the second sock yesterday. So I'm putting in my waist yarn, hanging my bonnet. There we go. I think you guys can see the sock machine pretty well. And yeah, just gonna hang out and make a sock. Love to hear from anybody that might be watching, if anybody's watching, what kinds of things they are doing this rainy Saturday morning here in East Texas. Ooh, come here. Butterfly doesn't want to release. Nice. There it goes. Ah. Well then. This is just the waist yarn, and it just didn't catch properly, so it's easy to fix. It's not really important. I actually don't really have to fix it. I could just leave it and keep going, but I'll fix it. It doesn't take that much time and effort to fix really quick. There we go. It just got caught. There we go. go well, it takes me about an hour and a half to make one sock, about 3 hours to make a pair. So we shall see. That is tentatively how long I expect to be hanging out today. I'm going to make a toe-up sock because that is just the way I've made toe-up and I've made cuff down. And I just like toe-up better. It's just I don't care. I don't feel a difference when I wear them. I don't feel like they fit differently. I just like the fact that when I do it toe up, when it comes off the machine, the sock is done. I have one end that has to be sunk into the cuff, and that's it. If I do it cuff down, I still have to seam up the toe, and I don't like to seam things. So I'm putting on my ravel cord now. I'm going to use 2 different ravel cords because I want to do this toe up, and I need a place to turn the toe. Because I'm going to remove, I don't know how well you can actually see what I'm doing. I know that you can see that I am doing it. Okay. But if you want a detailed look into the machine, I have some videos like that up on the channel. You can check that out. But yeah, so half my needles will have one ravel cord, and the other half of my needles will have a second ravel cord. And this way I can hang my toe, and then I'll be able to remove the ravel cord, the waste yarn, and this starter bonnet, and just work with my toe. If that makes any sense. Oh, what have you caught on? Let's see. Of course I'm having hiccups today because I put the camera in front of things. All right, viewers, what did I do with the hook I just had in my hand? Roll down. I don't really like to use the long hook, but I guess I can. Since I seem to have misplaced the short hook. Alright, what's wrong here? Oh, that's easy fix. I just got that. There we go. Okay. Oh, there's the short hook. Huh, right here, next to me, where it goes. So anyway, got my bonnet on, got my waste yarn on, did both my 2 ravel cords. Now I can just begin with my sock yarn. I am making a woman's size 8 sock today, hopefully. That is the plan anyway. So there's my working yarn. Hey, is Dad in there? My whole family's home and walking around, so. Judah?
Yeah.
Is Dad sitting in there?
No. I think he's in the bathroom.
Oh, okay. When he comes out, would you let him know that the live is going?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, for my very first row, I don't want any tension at all. I'm going to keep the toe nice and loosey-goosey. Okay, and then I am going to wrap this out of work needle, that, and I keep notes here like what kind of tension I have where so that I can repeat it for the second sock. And I actually made 2 socks last night, but my tension bar is finicky and it kind of loosened up, so the second sock is a little big. So I've re-tightened it down and I'm trying to make the same sock as the first sock I made yesterday. So I'm referring to my notes so I can remember exactly what I did yesterday because I've slept since then. So I still have, I'm not going to put any tension on this. I still want it to be nice and loose. There we go. Then I'm going to wrap this out of work needle on this side and keep it really loose. Any tension that is needed, I'm just going to provide with my hand. That's what I wrote down, no tension or heel spring. So no tension, no heel spring. Just loosey-goosey. That's my first 3 rows. Now I'm going to go ahead and add my heel spring. Keep sure that my first needles catch. This one didn't catch. That's okay. Lift. Do one more with just my heel spring, and then I'll put in my heel forks to add some weight. Perfect. So now I'm ready to add my heel forks. I love my Dean and Bean heel forks. I have actually 2 sets. I have the older set and the newer set. I love the newer set. I never use the older set anymore. Surprise Saturday morning sock stream. Well, I guess it's Saturday afternoon. I actually don't know what time it is, but I think it's after lunch. All right, now I'm going to wrap again for this row. Got my heel forks on. I've got my heel spring on. I'm just going to watch that first needle. Wrap again. My yarn. So this cone is a commercial. It's a commercial sock yarn, a commercially wound cone. And for the most part, the yarn comes off of it really smoothly, but every now and then it catches, so I just have to kind of pay attention. All right, and now the hard part is done, and we are just going to lift and turn back and forth. Make sure that my first one catches. It does not always. Hey, hon, it's going. You can take a look at it and tell me and make sure it looks all right. I think it's okay. Judah helped me. And Levi said that you can hear me, so I don't know if it's picking it up from the microphone or from the phone, but.
Oh yeah, that I don't know.
As long as you can hear me, that's what matters. I don't think anybody's watching yet, but that's okay.
Duck potato, duck potato. Live.
Do we have anybody checking us out?
Levi was on here.
Yeah, he watched to make sure that there was sound.
Oh, he said I can hear you before he said first chat. Oh no, the first chat is backwards. Okay, it's going the other way. Nobody else is on though.
Okay.
Well, nobody else is in the chat. It says 2 people are.
Alright, I gotta move my heel springs up. Whenever the stitches crawl up on the needles, that is time to move the heel springs up. There's going to be an echo if you don't make that quieter.
Alright, there. No, it sounds off.
Thank you. There we go.
Maybe I want to echo. Maybe I want to move my phone closer to it so it picks it up. We test it, see if it's the microphone or if it's the phone.
How are you spending your Saturday morning, dear? Saturday.
I laid around in bed and then I played some video games and then I cooked a boudin for lunch and then now I'm here. And you, dear?
I got up this morning and went to rug hooking and finished my trivet. And then I went to Walmart and bought a couple of things I need to finish my towels that I cut off the loom. You can see my short and see me cut my towels off the loom. And then I visited Mammers for a quick minute while I picked up my sewing machine. And then I figured this out. Now I'll make it a sock.
FYI, you can see everything from like
Yes, I know.
here that way. You can't see my hand in front. Up there.
Yeah, I was watching it on my computer screen. You're
Okay.
welcome to adjust it if you think you can get it better, but I'm working with
Limited means.
yeah. I can't look at it and adjust it
Yeah,
simultaneously. So.
let's see what I can do.
This is a trial run.
You're a little more in frame, but you're like,
Is my light bothering the camera?
no, it's just right in the way, but there's nowhere else to move it.
Wow.
Yeah, if that works, it's a little
Is
better.
that a little better?
But yeah, it is kind of washed out.
Well,
I don't know if there's any.
I gotta have the light, so.
No, I know, and I don't know if there's any. I've never messed with the streaming to see if there's any ISO settings in here or anything.
Yeah, I have no idea. This is the first time I've ever done this. That's why we didn't advertise it. We just figured we just work out the bugs, work out the kinks a little here.
Okay, so you can mute the mic.
Well, don't do that.
No, I know. Let's see. Mute, hide live feed video. That might help your battery. I don't know. Create highlight retouch. Flash lighting. Let's see what that does. Oop. Lighting.
All right, I'm coming up on the markers here that tell me my toe is almost done.
Okay. I don't know what that did, but it turned, it says relight off, and now I can see it better what you're doing.
Okay.
So it seems to be a little better.
All right, so now I'm going to lift my last toe hook, and then I'm going to drop two, and I'm going to lift and drop and go back. So I've done half the toe. Now I'm going to work back the other way to the other half the toe.
Ladybird Loves
Hey, Hadija.
said, Miss Duck Potato.
She has inspired me to try doing some lives. She's my inspiration.
Here's your frame now.
Oh, that looks pretty good. Thank you, babe. That looks better than it did.
You're working it.
Yeah.
The mess is still there, but the mess
Well,
is
the
always
mess
there.
is always here. I live in a beautiful mess. What you? That's just how I roll, babe. You know that.
I know.
It's
Yeah.
clean mess. I mean, none of it's dirty. It's just busy.
Your favorite author's books behind you there?
Oh yeah, Kathleen Fuller. That's my Kathleen Fuller shelf.
And then school underneath that.
Yeah, and then my sunlight shelf.
And then to your right, all the kids' storage for their school supplies.
Yeah, that's their school shelves. We will have one shelf be empty next year.
I
Isn't
know.
that amazing? We're getting ready to kick a kid off to college. Did I lift and drop? I did. I hope I did. So yeah, I am just making a sock on Socka Latte, my Dean and Bean 3D printed circular sock machine in here that my hubby bought for me a few years ago for all of the holidays.
She said me as an inspiration with a laughy face.
Yes, you as an inspiration. My husband is being so gracious as to read any comments too, because I don't have a setup where I can read them myself. That may be something we have to figure out in the future.
Yeah, I'll have to get you a robot to read it out loud for you.
Or maybe, could you set that up right in front of me and then I could read it?
I can. That was what I was
I hadn't
working
thought
on
about
doing.
that.
I don't know how long the battery lasts, but you can try
Yeah,
it.
that battery doesn't last very
It's
long.
already at 47%. I haven't done anything. It's been turned off.
Lift and drop. Well, can you plug it in? Will it plug in and stay plugged in? I don't
Yeah.
know.
I'll go
There's
get my
plugs over here.
charger.
I have no idea, you guys, if I lifted and dropped it properly. So, I don't know if I can talk and make a sock at the same time. I guess we will find out. And I apologize for my squeaky chair. It squeaks.
You have a squeaky chair.
I have a squeaky chair.
Unforgettable.
See? Sorry. Alright, back to the toe of my sock here.
Do you want to be logged in as me viewing? So then that way,
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll mess with the stream if you're logged in as you.
No, yeah, I better say as you.
Crawling under. Give me a plug.
Is there an empty hole there down there?
You know, phrasing. There is a plug.
I lifted and dropped. I have to pay attention.
I'll set this. What's this plug to? What's this
I
plug to?
have no
I'll leave
idea.
stuff
Don't
in the
unplug the printer because it's powering my light.
No. Oh,
That would
sorry,
be the
that was
printer.
it. I'm sorry.
That would have been the printer.
Well,
It'll
Unfortunately-
turn back on.
I know. But I needed the space because all
Gotcha,
these others have the
Well,
neutral.
we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things. What else plugged down in there? One's the printer. It's on.
Okay.
It just needs. I just need to
Take a
turn the light
minute.
back on.
Oh,
The printer turned itself back on.
there you go. I don't know. Each of the kids' chargers
For their
and
Chromebook, I guess. All right.
yeah, that's Chromebook, and computer and, printer.
And now charger.
And charger.
All right. So the trick that I try to keep in mind is always lift and drop my needles immediately after I crank and before I move my heel forks or talk to someone or get a drink of water or do anything else. That way I've always lifted and dropped and I always am ready to just crank when I sit back down. So that's theoretically my MO, but not always super consistent.
She says if hubby tunes into your live stream on his phone, mute it, and then you can read the comments. That's what
Yep,
we're doing right now.
that's
I'm
what
just-
he's setting up for me right now.
well, I'm the one reading the comments out loud, but it is muted.
Yes. Yes, thank you, Hadija. That is what we are trying to get worked out. So this is my very first surprise Saturday sock stream. My hubby came up with that great title. And if people like it, we may do it again. What is making all that rattly sound down there? What am I hitting? I guess it's just my heel forks. Let's see, I lifted, but I didn't drop. Shame on me. Before I got distracted.
Audio.
Alright, this is going okay. Worst case scenario, if I got off when I started the toe, if I missed a spot, I can pull it out and start over. I haven't got that far into the process yet. And even if I have to start a sock over, it's still a lot faster than knitting the sock by hand. I mean, I cannot knit a sock by hand anywhere close to an hour and a half. I don't even know if I can knit a cuff in an hour and a half. Never mind a whole sock. So, if I get a little frustrated, I just remind
Looks
myself.
like you have 5 viewers now.
Oh, well, cool.
Well, that might be counting both of my devices here.
That's all right.
But
Like I said, this was an impromptu thing that we thought, wonder if we could do this. And we just thought, well, just try it and see. And if it goes well and people like it, maybe I'll do a Saturday sock stream every month or something. I could definitely make socks. I have a wonderful husband who is in need of more socks. So, although this sock is not for him. I have a friend whose daughter is getting married, and I am making socks for the bridesmaids and the bride, and yeah, that's what I'm working on today. I do love hand knit socks. They are the best. Oh, I think I might be in the right place, even with all my talking and distractions. I think I'm going to straddle blue first and then black. So yay! So the orange yarn, if you missed the beginning, is not part of the sock. That is waste yarn. And it is about to come off. Alright.
there.
Perfect. Did it not go right here, or will it block the...
If I rotate it to landscape, the text gets really tiny.
Ah, okay. Well, I can look over here and check. Oh, Taco Dino! Hey! Hello!
Yeah, that's your son.
That's Levi?
This is
Yeah.
Asher.
Oh,
That's
Asher, sorry.
Oh, my other son. I don't even know what my kids' names are on YouTube. Thanks, Asher. And he told me the name of my channel because I couldn't remember what it was. And there's Hadija. Cool. Well, we got it set up a little bit better now so I can see the chats and I can work the machine. And, all right, so what we're going to do now is we are going to hang the toe. So, pulling out, these are the little ends of everything. I'm going to drop. So when, on a sock machine, when your needles are up, these are needles that are not getting stitches. They are out of work needles. So I'm going to bring them back down. I'm going to remove my heel forks. So these were providing weight on the toe of my sock. so that the yarn stays down low on the hook and doesn't pop off. So I'm going to take those off. And then I have a really big fat weight that I'm going to pull out.
You know what you were doing.
I live in a house of teenage boys and I'm in the kitchen, so my kids are gonna come in, they're gonna make noise, they're gonna eat things, my dogs are gonna come around. That's just the way things are here. In Duck Potatoes, what world of wonderful fiber arts. I saw him shove a handful of chips in his mouth.
Yeah.
He's over there grinning. He knows what he did. It's fine. It's no big deal. So now the trick is, will my sock toe reach the other side? And somehow it got a little tight. I don't know what it's gonna do, but we're gonna try it. If it doesn't do, we'll start over. Like I said, not the end of the world.
Nobody asked you to speak.
Yeah, my dog talks. Roxanne. We named her Roxanne because we found her walking the streets.
Roxanne, are you going to speak for the people? Roxanne, are you going to speak for the people?
Don't make her howl, honey.
Speak. Yeah?
It's
Tell me
really
more.
funny. If I get my guitar out and start
One more
singing,
time.
she'll come and sit with me and sing while I sing.
Good girl.
Whenever I get on lives, my whole family thinks it's
Time to show off.
show off hour. Yeah.
Home on. Just set it on the counter for now. We'll take care of it later.
Well, guys, I don't know if I'm going to manage to get this. I might have to start this toe over. It got too tight somewhere along the way, and I don't know if it's going to reach. So what I'm doing is I'm picking out the purple strands of sock yarn that are live and hanging them onto these hooks. And my toe is pretty tight. But it's better if it's not so tight, because they're hard to find when they're too tight. It's all kinds of noisy, guys.
Yeah, sorry, leave that making ramen. Ready to make a boiled water right now. It'll be done in a minute.
So I don't if anybody that is watching, I don't know who else watching, if anybody, but I wonder if everybody else works on their craft projects. If you have like a craft room where you can go and work by yourself, or if you just work in the living room, or what. Like I have what is technically the breakfast nook of my kitchen. This is where I have shoved the majority of my craft stuff, school stuff. We call it my office, but there's no door. I mean, I'm just sitting in the middle of my kitchen, so. It's not quite Grand Central Station of the house, but it's close to it.
Out. You two. Out. Go on.
You know they want to be in here while you guys have food out.
No, the puppy wants to be in her face though.
We have two dogs. They're both some kind of shepherd mix. They're both strays. We rarely.
We think one's a husky shepherd and the other one's a Belgian Malinois husky, or a Belgian Malinois German shepherd mix.
So, don't want to miss any of these. That would be bad. I think it's going to make it. It's going to be a little bit of a tight toe to begin with, but I think we're going to make it.
Is this staying on? Yes, okay. I wasn't sure if the power settings were set to, or it turned off if we didn't touch it so long.
I haven't turned off yet. I can see it out of the corner of my eye. If you guys have any questions about the sock machine or anything, pop them in the chat. I'll glance over every now and then and try to catch them if anybody says anything. Well, I was thinking I was going to get them all on, but now I'm not so sure. The last couple are it's very tight. I might just need to undo it and redo it. And let it get too tight somewhere. Did my tension rod run up? Really? I have a hard time seeing what's going on down there. And it doesn't like to stay put. So I was really hoping I could salvage this toe, but don't know if I can. See, if I miss one of these little purple threads, then I will have a hole in the toe of my sock, and it will unravel. So it's really important that I catch them all, and it is hard to do when it is this tight. See it. There. Don't die, babe.
I mean, silly. Ooh, look, there's a heart icon. Boop.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe I should just keep doing this.
You just gonna laugh at me over
Now
there?
look at your screen. Look at the tablet.
I'm looking. What am I supposed to be
Oh,
seeing?
you don't see all the hearts going up the screen? I guess you wouldn't because it's
She would
not.
love to be near so she can see what's going on. Not that. Okay, so Ladybird Loves says, I would love to be near so I can see what's going on. Not that I'm ever going to buy a machine or even make socks, but I'd be interested in actually seeing what's going on. And then my husband says hello.
Closer.
And Vintage Sew Gal says hi. Hi, welcome, Vintage Sew Gal. Well, Hadija, let's see, hon, would you mind bringing the camera over here since you're hanging out and playing with me today? You can bring it and see what I'm doing, and they can see what the problem is that I'm having.
Actually, you know what? Let me see if I can do this. And
There we go.
hang on.
I think he's getting it worked out for y'all.
Here. I mean,
Okay.
we don't see your face anymore, but
Yeah, well, that's okay. My face is not the most interesting thing in the world anyway.
Mm.
You can see the toe of my sock, and you can see how tight it is. I'm trying to catch these individual purple stitches and hook them onto hooks. And I'm having a problem with this one because it's just so tight.
sorry,
I'm
hang on.
having trouble.
I can zoom in too. Let me fix it.
Well,
a little
I'll
better.
let you handle the camera, and I'll see if I can catch this
I know.
purple piece of thread here.
It's a little too zoomed in,
I
but
have
that's okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can't skip any. It's got to come.
Let's see if I can get.
Hey, I might have grabbed it, y'all. Ugh. Sorry, now my hand's going to be in the way. Ugh. I did get it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. Oh!
Don't break your machine.
No, it wouldn't be the machine. It would be the yarn. If the yarn
wow.
breaks, like, we'll start over. If I can get all these hung, I can make the next row super loose and it will all even out. It's not, there's not any tension on any part of the machine that's going to make the machine break right now. The yarn would definitely pop
I
before.
wonder if I can get your hand out of the way a little. No, that's too low now.
Don't play with it too much.
I know. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make everybody sick. No, it was better the way it was because now it's more like just needs to be a little higher.
Ah!
Doop, boop, boop, doop, boop. Bear with us.
I don't know if I can do it. I'm trying. I got 3 more. This is the tightest toe I've ever tried to salvage. I don't know
Okay.
why it's so tight.
Push it on the
Should've
table
been
makes the camera wiggle though. So
Yeah,
hopefully it won't
sorry
make you
about
just
that,
sick.
y'all. So okay, Ladybird Love likes the view better, so that's good.
Oh, good. I wonder if we do this and then if that's too high. And then I can zoom in a bit more. Come on, don't do that.
Hi, you guys. I'm so close, but I think think I might have to just give her up and try again.
Okay. Is that even better now, or was it better down lower?
This way I'm not likely to...
Your hand's not in the way as much, and the table bouncing isn't a problem.
Okay. There's no way. I don't think I can get that. That one is just too tight. I got orange yarn up in the way. I got ravel cord up in the way.
Okay, she likes it.
Okay, good. Alright, well, hopefully you can kind of see what I'm doing. We're about to start over because I don't think I can get these last 3 caught and onto the hooks.
And luckily, to make that much yarn on this machine is far faster than having to
Oh
do it
yeah,
by
if I have
hand.
to start over, it's of course I only have this one last one. If I can get it, I won't have to start over. But I don't know if I can get it. If I miss it and we start, like I said, the whole sock will unravel. So it's got to be caught in there somewhere. I don't even see it. It's so tight. And I mean, I know it has to be there. This is the one above it. Need like a magnifying glass. I don't think that's it. I think that's the one above it. It would be a really big shame if I had to start over, y'all. I would really like to catch this last one. But it's what happens when you start off too tight. Then I wonder if I skipped catching it now, if I could catch it before I do the ravel cord.
You want 1.25 or?
Let's try. No, I'm gonna try something. We're gonna experiment, y'all. I've never done this before. Okay. So what we're gonna do, and I'm gonna leave this one stitch uncaught, and I'm gonna go ahead and remove my ravel cord and my waste yarn and my bonnet. And I've got my needle just stuck so that hopefully it won't just, unravel all the way down. And then I'll try to pick it up and salvage it. Just because I want to. Again, like I've said twice, it's not that big a deal if I have to start over. But if I don't have to start over, that would be great.
As long as you don't make a knot.
I'll make lots of knots. I can cut it out. I have plenty of yarn.
You don't need the magnifiers.
You can leave them handy. I might later. But last night I was doing this with my contacts in, and I could wear my readers. Today I'm wearing my glasses. So.
Well, these are 1.25, and these are like 3.
All right. So you can see that orange yarn disappearing there from view. I have removed. Where is it? Where can I show this? I've removed the bonnet that I put down
Higher. There you go.
on the bottom. So I took that off with the waste yarn. And now I'm going to see if I can salvage this stitch right here. So it ran a little, but not too bad. My hand's probably in the way. I'm sorry, y'all. Oop. There it goes. Well, nope. See it running down, and the snag is getting bigger instead of smaller. That's the opposite direction of what we want to do.
It's not raining anymore.
I'm helping home right now. Levi, please stop whistling.
Okay.
Nope.
Even from here.
Dang it. This is what we call sock surgery.
I'm
Ha! Okay, I got it.
allowed any comments to her.
So what I need to do is I need to get this hook into this hole from this direction. I can do that, I might be able to repair this.
Yes, I know. And guess what? I work all week. And it hasn't been over a week. You started pestering me about it like Monday.
Ah, look at that, ladies and gentlemen. We have caught it. So now I will latch hook each of these stitches back up where they fell down. Hopefully, I'm trying to keep my hand out of the way where you can see it, but I don't want these popping off the top.
Your hands are out of the way, dear.
Look at that, y'all. I'm so proud of me. I've never done a repair like this before, so. Oh, good. Y'all are my good luck. And there's the last one. And now we're forcing it onto this hook. Oh, ta-da! We're there.
Can you hand me my laptop?
Sure.
It's by my science.
This right here?
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. There you go. All right. So now we have a very tight but very hung toe. And from here, a tight toe, I'm going to use my hands as the weight because this is so very tight. And I'm going to undo this hook. I don't need the heel spring anymore. I'm going to walk this around. Usually I could do this a little faster when it's not quite so tight, but I'm having to be very careful. But it'll loosen up.
I didn't let you say what you said.
Hey, enough.
Alright, I can already feel it loosening up. So this is still a toe round as far as I'm concerned. I'm not starting the foot. We're loosening up that toe. Alright, yeah, see how much that is? So there we go. We are golden. Now I will begin the foot of the sock. So I like to use my twice sheared sheep sock ruler. This is what I use for measuring socks for people. I used to draw people's feet and do all these math calculations, and honestly, this is way easier and seems to work just fine. So that's what I'm going to use to make sure that the sock is the size I need it to be. I need my weight. I'm going to put my weight back on. So I don't know how great this view is going to be once the weight goes back in. I have my counter on so that I know how many rows that I've done, and I'm aiming for 60 rows. And I'm going to check my tension bar, make sure it's... And yeah, this is the fun part. Just go around and around. It'll look a little bit more fun when this comes out here in a minute. Well, it's not going to come out, but once it gets down lower. Yeah, I can. You set it up where I can see it now, hon. All right. All right, y'all. And that is an entire sock foot knit in less than 5 minutes. All right, let's pop that weight out. Flatten out the toe of my sock here. Underneath, you can't see the sock coming out the bottom of the machine because of the way the camera is set up, but it is coming out the bottom of the machine. I'm going to put my handy dandy measuring tool in here. Right now it's saying I've got a women's size 7, so I need to do a few more rounds, which is odd because it should be a women's size 8. But it says 7. So we'll do a couple more rounds. Here, I guess I show you. I didn't do it where y'all could see. Let me do it backwards so you guys can see. So I set my ruler here over, usually I do one past the center line. And then you just put the ruler into the bottom of the toe. And you just see where the bottom lines up at. And it should be a women's size 7 right now. See? Easy. So then I just crank like maybe 2 more rounds and then we'll measure again. Yep, perfect. Now we're at an 8. So now I can start to heal. Put my weight back in. To make a note that I had to do 2 extra rounds for some reason. Alright, so I'm going to work the heel over just half of the stitches like I did the toe. So I'm going to lift the ones I don't want to use right now, so that they don't work. I'm gonna turn my counter off. I don't need it for a little bit. And then you make the heel much the same way you make the toe. You lift and turn, and I'm gonna tension it by hand for a couple of rounds so it's not too tight, hopefully. Put my heel spring on. And in a minute, I'll need my heel forks as well. When they start to pop off, like that one didn't it? What did I just do? Did I forget to lift it? Yeah. I don't know what I did, y'all. I goofed something up somewhere. Now I've got a stuck needle. Okay, let's see what I did. Oh, I just, easy to fix. Pop that off. There we go. That should have gone up. Time to put my heel forks in. No worries, Hadija. Hadija's got to run and take a phone call for her own YouTube channel, which is totally fine. Thanks for popping in for a bit, though. I sure appreciate you. There's my heel forks. So we're just slowly making a little pocket for the heel here. A little bit at a time. That last one didn't catch. You always have to watch your first and last needle. They don't always knit. And so you want to make sure you catch it so you can knit them if you need to. Oh, let's see. Hello. GR Missy. How are you? Welcome to the channel. Are you a sock machine enthusiast? Or a knitting enthusiast, or a crochet enthusiast, or a weaving enthusiast, a fiber artist of some sort? This sock yarn is active. It's a commercial sock yarn, not hand dyed, but it's a really great sock yarn. And this color is called hibiscus, in case anybody was curious. And I buy it in 400 gram cones because it's much more affordable that way. Sort of like the Sam's Club of sock yarns. Or Costco, if you're a Costco person. Oh, Missy! I know who you are, Missy. Yes. Hello. Of course you're always knitting something. I guess I had forgot what your YouTube handle was. We decided to do a surprise Saturday sock stream today and show off how to make a pair of socks on a circular sock machine. We're also testing my ability to do this and talk at the same time. Oop, that didn't catch. Alright, so I've reached my target marks. So that's the end of this half of the heel. So now instead of getting smaller, we're going to grow it back up to get bigger again. And the way we do that is we drop needles. The first 2 times I go around, I'm going to drop 2 needles, but after that I'll just drop and wrap 1. Well, come on here. Oops. Got caught. So drop and wrap. The reason you do 2 on the very first couple of turns is to help avoid little like square dog ears on the edges. After that you can just do 1 at a time. Oh yes, I can make my heels, my toes, my cuffs. I made the entire sock. I will make the entire sock on this machine. Yeah, the whole thing. When the sock comes off the machine, I can put my foot in it. It'll be done. I'll have one end that I can weave it in if I really want to. I usually just sink that last end into the cuff. You won't ever see it. Yeah, the whole entire sock. One machine.
Can you knit a tube and then cut and do your own afterthought?
Yes, my husband is asking if I could just knit a solid tube and then cut in my own heels and toes and cuffs. And yes, I can and frequently do that as well. But today I'm making a whole sock. Making a whole sock. There's a couple of different kinds of heels. This is a short row heel. You could also do a wedge heel. I've tried it once. I'm not a fan of that kind of heel, so I like this kind. But you could do a different kind if you wanted. I should have dropped and wrapped first before I started fussing with my forks. So I don't forget where I'm at. And every so often you just have to move your heel forks up so they keep the yarn pulled down on the thing. And I have to check my tension bar every so often so it doesn't loosen up or tighten up or something. Doesn't move. I'm not making a hole, no. I am making a heel. Do you need something, darling?
Yes, in between my two boxes, I have a pencil I need.
In between this tiny little stub of a pencil?
Yeah, I just need the erasal on it.
There you go. Alright, when I get to... So I have little painted spots on here. You guys can see them. When I get to the black mark, that's my first one. I'm going to wrap the lower and the taller. This will actually prevent a little hole from forming at the corner of the heel. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And yeah, so we basically made like a pocket in here for the heel. And now that I'm done with that, I'm going to turn my counter back on so I can count my leg rows. Put all of...
I need to look at Lady Bird's comment.
I said I was making a whole sock. Oh, an entire sock. There's definitely, Hadija, there's definitely some words lost in translation. When I was watching your live Friday night, I had to rewatch it after the fact because I didn't catch it in time to watch it actually live. But there's a whole lot of words apparently that are not the same in my English as your English. Like vest. I thought I heard you say vest was underwear. Where I come from, vest is not underwear. A vest is like a shirt with no sleeves. Kind of like a tank top, but it's a little different. It's usually a form of outerwear. But yeah.
Technically, a sock always has one hole in it.
A sock should always have at least one hole in it. Yeah, so you can get your foot in. Okay, so now I have all of my stitches are going to work again. I have this little funny pocket right here. That's the heel. This is like the wrong, if I turned it wrong side out. So there's my heel. In order for my weight to be effective, it needs to be able to pull on these stitches as well as these. So I don't want it down in the bottom. I'm going to pull it up. And I have this, you can't see it because we move things. I have this little ring right here. I'm going to clamp this around the foot of the sock so that this is like pulled across here and I can set the weight in. I hope that makes sense. So I slide the ring up and I'm going to stuff the heel down into the ring. That way there's tension on all sides of the sock and not just the heel or just the instep. And then I'm going to put my weight back in. Take my heel spring off, which you can't see either. There we go. And yeah, check my tension rod one more time. And here we go. Time for the fun. The fun part. see inside there. I'm going to scoop that little clamp up just a little so it doesn't fall down. Get it all the way up over the heel now that I've got some little more room in there. Repair. Something didn't work quite right here. This is an easy repair though. Had a couple of stitches that for some reason didn't catch. Maybe their latch hook wasn't open right or something. Alright, so that is my leg. I'm going to reset my counter. And I'm going to put some markers in so I can hang the cuff here in a little bit. So these are just going to be stitch markers. They're going to mark the first stitch. I'm going to mark that with pink. This is the first stitch here. Just like a little, oops. Well, it would be like a little flag if I did it right. There we go. So there, and I'm going to mark, I have these color coordinated markers. I'm just going to mark every stitch at a marker all the way around so that when I come back around in 30 rows and get ready to hang my cuff, it's real easy to do. I make sure I hang stitches that are all in the same row. Well, try that again. All right, so I've marked this whole round, and now when I go around, I'll do 30 more rounds, and then that will be the cuff of this sock. Having a lot of snagging of my yarn. It doesn't want to come off the cone smoothly for some reason. Don't know why. Whoa, well, that time it caught on something. And now I have to make a repair. Dang it. If it gets caught, you really have to have almost no resistance with the yarn coming off. This is why we wind it onto combs instead of cakes or off of skeins, because any resistance at all causes us a little stress on the machine. So I'm going to try putting my yarn on the floor. Sometimes that helps if it's being, I don't know why it's acting up today. It was fine all last night, but let's see if that helps. Oh yeah, that's better. Alright, that is the cuff. I'm going to pull my weight out, take my little clamp off here, and now I'm going to hang the cuff by pulling up those stitches and hanging them onto the hooks alongside the markers. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hang all the stitches in between those flagged stitches onto the hook, which is a lot easier to do in short segments between flags than it would be to try to do just free eyeballing it. And so what's happening now is that every hook is going to have 2 stitches on it, and then you see I'm lifting the stitches up out of work because I'm not going to knit any more rounds, and then I'm going to use my latch hook to kind of bind off each individual stitch in pairs off of the hooks. You're not going to be able to see what I'm going to do exactly real well because I'm going to be working on this side of the machine where the camera's not at. Take my flags off. I don't need those anymore. As I advance, I'm making sure I'm applying weight with my hand so that I don't lose any stitches off the edge of my hook there. Done with that for the moment. Get that out of the way. Yeah, if you make a lot of socks, now there are ways to do fancier things like cables or color work. I even have a ribber for this machine to do ribbing, although I've only ever made one pair of ribbed socks and I found it very frustrating and haven't really worked with it much since. So there are ways to do kind of fancier things with this if you like. I just pretty much, if I want to do cabled socks or some kind of fancy stitch pattern, I'll just make those socks by hand. If I just want a stockinette sock, which is fine with me, I like wearing them, then I will do that on the sock machine. But yet, it's so much faster. So much faster than knitting by hand. If we had sat here and I had started a sock at the beginning of the time we began together and knit steadily the whole way through, I would maybe have a cuff. Maybe. Certainly not an entire sock, which is what I'm going to have very soon. Alright, so every needle now has 2 stitches on it. The last stitch from the last row that we wound, or cranked I should say, as well as a stitch from the row that we flagged as the beginning of the cuff. And now what I'm going to do is I am going to use this latch hook and bind off so that these 2 stitches are caught together and closed up. And I'm going to do that all the way around, so I no longer will have any live stitches. They'll all be closed off. I don't know what you can see, but I stick the hook, I pull the needle out, I stick the hook down into both stitches, catch the working yarn and pull through, and then I give a second catch of the working yarn, like basically like a crochet stitch almost, and then I wrap the needle behind again and go back into the 2 stitches on the needle and then pull like a slip stitch almost. And I'm going to do that all the way around. So if you are interested in watching some more sock machine videos, I have a whole playlist on my channel, Duck Potato's World of Wonderful Fiber Arts, and that playlist is called CSM, My Sock Machine Journey. And I've got lots and lots of videos, well, not lots and lots, I have a few. I have more videos anyway, of me making socks on Lottie. And you are welcome to go check those out if you are interested in watching some more. And they have different camera angles where you can see what I'm doing a little differently as well. Yeah, so if that's something you would like to see, feel free. Yes, Missy, I'm binding off effectively. The really fun part, actually I forgot to put my weight back in. I like to put my weight back in because I don't have a brake, so my machine just goes and wiggles. But if I put the weight back in, it doesn't move quite as much. Almost to the halfway point here. This actually is kind of one of the longer, takes a little bit longer, this step, because I have to work each needle one at a time. And right now I have a 60 needle cylinder. When I make socks by hand, I usually do 64 stitches, but when I make socks on the machine, I usually use a 60 needle cylinder, or 60 hook cylinder. When I make socks for my husband and my sons, I have to use a 72 hook cylinder. Those really take a long time to bind off. Hey, Shannon, how are you, darling? I just saw my friend Shannon pop in. Welcome to my surprise Saturday sock stream. This is my first attempt to do a live like this. I'm glad you found me. I'll see you later, Missy. We will probably not be at Big Sandy tonight. We haven't talked about it, but I don't think we plan to go dancing tonight. James, are we going dancing tonight? He can't hear me. I don't think we're going to go. I have quite a few more socks to make still for this wedding. So I need to stay home and get this done. Good, Shannon. I'm glad you're good. You still crocheting sweaters? She says yes. That's great. I still haven't tried a crocheted sweater yet. It's on my to-do list. I have a long to-do list, though. Okay, I'm almost done. And we will crank this thing off the machine, which is way fun to watch. And then if I can get my husband to come and be the cameraman again, I'll have him pick the camera back up and point it at me so I can show you the sock. And you guys can let me know if this is something y'all would be interested in seeing again. And maybe I'll actually schedule one in advance instead of impromptu like I did this time. All right. Now, to get it off the machine, this is the fun part. Put all of the needles back in work. And you just catch it when it falls off. Is James over there, babe?
I'm here.
Can you come and put it back up like it was at the very beginning?
Oh, we're able to see you?
Yeah, so I can show him the sock.
Yep. Zoom out. No, we'll just tilt it up like that. You gonna be tucking for a minute?
I don't know. You might want to not leave it.
All right. Well, I was just gonna hold it, but
Yeah, you might want to do that. I doubt I'll talk that much longer, but thank you. This is definitely a low budget production, y'all.
yeah. Let me move it up a little more notch. There we go.
Okay. Here is the stock. Can they see it?
Yeah, I see it.
There's a delay, so it takes me a minute. Here. There we go. All right, one sock. Woo! So thank you guys for joining me for this surprise Saturday sock stream. Like I said, if you're interested in doing this again, let me know in the comments below, and maybe we'll do one maybe every month or maybe every other month or something. It was fun. Thanks for joining me. Y'all have a great Saturday.
Hit the top button. Just, yep.
I don't know. Shannon says yes, yes. Well, she at least wants me to do more Saturday sock lives. Cool. This one looks tighter than.
Oh, that just turned off the video.